Assalamu alaikum. Happiness. Today's episode is, what does it really mean to be happy? Happiness is not only about this dunya, and I feel like that's really becoming common that happiness is getting the best house, the best job, the best car. And I feel like it's just so overrated, these dunya dreams, these worldly dreams and goals, and that's all we're thinking about and that's all we're working towards. And we forget that sometimes I'm looking to go into university, and the only thing I take into account is dunya. And a lot of people are like, go to this like best university and go to this best and do your internships here, and it's so good. But all you think of in that moment is dunya. I want to do this so I can get a good job and a lot of income. But what if there's in anything you take, in any step you take, we have to make sure it's well-rounded and that it's not just this world and it's the next. So whatever you do, you can choose another option and you'll get to the same place. But this other option can help you in both your dunya, in this life, and the next. And again, dunya and deen and dunya are not separate things. Like a girl this would say this, she would always be like, deen and dunya are not separate things. You just have to you can combine them. It's like an offer. It's like a combo. You work for the akhirah and you get this dunya for free. You cannot get akhirah without getting this dunya as well, right? So also though, but the problem is, I feel like making our happiness and our goals only on dunya, this world. A sheikh once said that it's like a gift. You see a gift that's wrapped so beautifully, you unwrap it and you unwrap it and you unwrap it and you find garbage inside. So that's what striving for only dunya is like having this vision of all these goals and things and getting the best car and the best products, and you reach it, and then there's an empty part in your heart, in your soul. There's something missing. You don't feel the true happiness, right? And I feel like, for example, some people do a job and they get less income, but they do it for Allah. They do it for the sake of Allah and they have the right niyyah. So they feel that happiness. They feel that fulfillment. They feel true happiness. But people, they have a better job with better pay, but they don't feel that happiness. They don't feel that fulfillment because this is all they worked for. There's something missing, right? In an ayah, أَلَا بِذِكْرِ اللَّهِ تَطْمَئِنُّ الْقُلُوبِ, right? Surely in the remembrance of Allah do hearts find comfort. And another ayah وَمَنْ أَعْرَضَ عَنْ ذِكْرِي فَإِنَّ لَهُ مَعِيشَةً ضَنْكًا. But whoever turns away from my reminder will certainly have a miserable life. You will never find happiness except with Allah. So what that means is setting goals and taking choices that are good for you in this life and the next, for both of them. And not just taking the stereotypical view of success and happiness, which is all these big dreams and getting a big job. And obviously you can work towards those and do it all for the sake of Allah. The difference between a Muslim and non-Muslim, I feel, is Muslim and a non-Muslim, they could both have the exact same job, same position, best car, best job, best whatever. And the Muslim did it for the sake of Allah. And he feels that happiness and fulfillment. But the non-Muslim, he doesn't do it for the sake of Allah, and he doesn't feel that fulfillment and happiness, and he doesn't feel that support. If this Muslim and this non-Muslim both lost their jobs, the non-Muslim who was working his entire life towards this, it's like he was worshipping his job, or astaghfirullah, right? And so he feels like he lost everything and he feels depressed. But the Muslim, his goals were in the right place, and he made sure that anything he did for the sake of Allah, and he got here, and now he lost it. Allah knows what's best for me. And he still feels that happiness and he feels that contentment still. So happiness is definitely not in having these goals that are only for dunya, right? Have both dunya and deen and mix them together. They are not separate things, really. You'll get them like a combo. So yeah, but sit there in your room and stressing. And so let's imagine you have a problem, and we all have problems in this world, and it's ruining your life, and you're crying, and you sit there on your chair in your room stressing and crying over this problem, and you remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that He's with you and that you're always going to return to Him, and just basically you always can return to Him in tears, in sajda, in prostration, with a heart full of hope, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asking Him to help you. And it's easy for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help you, but maybe He loves you. So He puts you in a difficult situation so that you turn back to Him. because he loves you and he wants you to get akhirah. So, ask Allah for this life and the next. That's why we say like, ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. So like in this life and the next. So if your vision is of Jannah and of pleasing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you will reach that fulfillment and you will feel relaxed and happy. Right? And just because it's a stereotype and you think that everyone is saying that happiness is having all these worldly possessions, that doesn't mean that it does really lead to happiness. Okay? So imagine like a non-Muslim, they've bought that house, bought that car, bought everything they ever wanted. It's all they ever dreamed of. But then after a while, they just get bored. Like, is that what I really worked for? It's empty. I don't feel the happiness that I thought I would feel. And maybe you keep buying and spending and looking for things to make you happy, worldly things that you think are going to make you happy. But you never find that true happiness without Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And there's also really a lot of happiness that you find in Islam that you cannot find anywhere else. The happiness of you in sajda, praying to your creator, praying and crying and thanking him for what he was give you, and like asking him to forgive you, and really feeling that connection and feeling happy with him, and to Allah he feels happy with you. Can you really, and having that sense of purpose, having that sense that you're just an individual who's gonna live and leave this world, but having that fulfillment and feeling like you fulfilled the purpose for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Can you really compare that with just sitting and chilling in your like big house and big pool and just playing around, but you really don't feel a purpose and you don't feel that you've really reached a state where you feel like I've done my purpose? Like, do you feel there's a happiness in feeling like I lived a life where I pleased Allah and I did my best and tried to fulfill my purpose and tried to always keep Allah and the akhirah in mind? And there's a difference than dying and feeling like I never reached really happiness. I looked for the wrong things. I had so much money. I had so much wealth. I had so many properties, but I never felt that I never really felt happy. Can you even compare? Can you really compare the sajda to a party? Can you really compare them? Like, if you look into Islam more and really take time with your prayer, and I mean, we all struggle with this. I struggle with this. You struggle, probably, maybe, I don't know. But really finding in sajda, savoring that you have to, like, thanking Allah that he gave us such a beautiful way to, like, comfort ourselves, to sit in that sajda, to prostrate, to ask him, to beg him, to feel that sense of fulfillment, to give charity and feel like Allah's pleased with you, to do something for his sake, to go to Umrah, to go to Hajj, to see the Kaaba, to be part of this ummah. If you see the life of like Prophet Muhammad and the companions and the life they lived, it was hard, but they felt happy through it all. It was hard, but they felt they had this peace that a lot of us currently maybe don't have. So I feel like the solution for that is giving your soul what it needs, giving it like that spirituality, that connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that really will make it calm and relaxed, and you know that you're going to return to him either way. So would you rather return having done your goals and always had the akhirah in mind, or return with a bunch of things that really never helped anyone? And really, like, a goal of this channel I try to do is I'm trying to give you guys content that will probably, I hope, actually help you. Like, not just empty content that does absolutely nothing and only makes you think of this dunya. That is not the goal of this channel at all. And so I feel like when you really hold, and when the scales you see in front of you, you weigh everything you do by the scales of, will this help me in my akhirah? Will this help me? Will this make Allah pleased with me? If that's the scale you're looking at it with, then congratulations. You're looking at it with a scale that's truly, truly going to help you. Like, it's going to affect you, and it's going to make you feel like It's going to make you feel that joy in your heart. But if your scales in front of you are, ooh, okay, is this going to make me have the best clothes? Is this going to make me have like these best worldly positions? Am I going to be like super popular on like Instagram or something? I don't know. It's not about like, obviously be popular in a good way. I'm not talking about that. I'm being like, if your scales, what you're looking at, how you're weighing it, it's really how you think. If what you think and what you value most is the dunya, and all your scales, everything you think about, how can I get the best of this dunya? How can I get the best of the dunya? You're never going to find that happiness. But if your scales and your mindset is, I want to please Allah, and your scales, whenever you weigh something, you look at, will this please Allah? Will it not please Allah? You will find that happiness. You will know and have understood the real meaning of happiness. Because I feel like you always, if you're looking for the pleasement of Allah and you're always trying to be close to Him, you feel that support. You know, whatever happens, even if I lose all these worldly positions, I have Allah, like I have my Creator, and I'm not going to stay here forever. I could die tomorrow. And anything, if I'm doing it for Him, and I have the right niyyah, and he will, and hopefully he values even the smallest of things, and he values it, inshallah, and he like makes me feel peaceful and happy in this life. In the next, you've really achieved the full goal. You've really achieved the happiness, and you've really won it all, But you only thinking of dunya, if you lose this dunya, if you die tomorrow, if you lose all your possessions, you will cry. You will like feel like you've lost everything, and you will be so depressed, right? Because that's all you've been working for. It's like, again, it's like you're worshiping it, astaghfirullah, and you just won't, and you won't, even if you have all those possessions, you'll get bored of them. You can never reach full happiness when the only scale you measure with is dunya. You can never reach that full happiness. So it's all about the way you think. If what you're thinking of and what matters to you most is truly Islam and like is truly the pleasing of Allah, like we can all say, oh, don't worry, all I care about is like pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but it really is what you do with it, how you weigh things, how you think of things. If when I'm doing something, my goal, I see in my head, oh, Jannah, inshallah, and may Allah make all of us think like, make the most important thing to us Jannah, and not dunya the most important thing. Dunya is just a beautiful lie. Like, it's really unpredictable, and if you get dunya, you didn't really get anything. Like, it's like you've been, like a sheikh would say, it's like you've unwrapped and unwrapped and unwrapped, and you find garbage in the end. You can get both dunya and akhirah, but make sure when you think and when you make those decisions, what you truly matters to you is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and all that. So, and I feel like a way to get that mindset and get that happiness, obviously think of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and how to really love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Learn about Him. He has 99 names that He told us about, right? Learn what they mean. I mean, we're all like, learn what they mean. Learn who Allah really is. Who is my Creator? What is He? Who is He really? He's the all-forgiving. He will always, He's the most merciful. He is never going, He's the all-knowing. And you learn truly what His names mean and how to apply it into your life. And I feel like gaining this knowledge would be very, very beautiful. And knowing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will really make you just love Him more and want Him to be your priority in everything. And I feel like another great thing to do, I think, is listening to the life of the Prophet and the companions. And I think a really great thing to do is also listening to the life of the Prophet and really seeing how he applied how he really balanced and applied, his love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and his iman in dunya, and how he used it and how he got most of Allah subhanahu, he got both dunya and akhirah. Allahumma salli wa sallam ala Sayyidina Muhammad. That is the best example you could ever do. So if you want to apply it, go listen to what your Prophet did, right? So yeah, that's really what I want to say. Change your vision, change your mindset, try and change your thinking. Make you really know your priorities to find that happiness. If your priority is dunya, it's not happiness. it's not going to get you to happiness. Really know that whatever overrated, whatever, if it's only worldly gains, it's not going to get you happiness. So that's really what I wanted to communicate to you guys today. Like, this is really what matters. It's not the best car. It's not the best job only. I feel like we're just looking in the wrong places for happiness. So that's why, this episode is for you guys. And I really want you to, hopefully you guys, like, it gave you a new insight to something. And yeah, please. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for listening, and have a great day. Assalamu alaikum.